Okay, so this is the Avro York from Corgi. These were made circa 1998, and I believe it's a first edition. I've wanted one of these for many years. The problem is, for me, is the windows. Especially these windows. They're just so crude. So yesteryear. But as it was £20 and I was at a show a few weeks back, I thought, come on, I've wanted one for a long time. Now, originally, I thought it was number 24 Squadron, which was Churchill's Avro York, and that was on strength with 24 Squadron. But I obviously didn't see this, did I? Berlin Airlift. Even though it's right there in big, bold white writing, I didn't see it. So yeah, that's to commemorate the Berlin Airlift, so we'll get it open. And this is my second unboxing video. Corgi Aviation Archives. Okay, so that's what the inside of the box says. Pause the video if you want to read it. Basically commemorating the days of flight. And you also get your 3 points, which I'm sure you could exchange these for models at some point. I don't know how that used to work, but... Okay, so we've got to remove this outer cover. Once we've slipped that off, then we can get to the model. Just chuck that on the ground for now. Okay, so here is the model. So we have the display stand. It's what you would call a cheap model from Corgi. I mean, there's a JU52 I want, which is about £105, and as you can see, there's nothing on the display stand, which is a shame. Then you have your landing gear. Now, what these are, I don't know if they're chocks or if they're something to do with your landing gear. I would imagine they're to do with your gear. Then you have your actual, not stand, the bit that sits in there. Then you have 2 holes for something else. That may have been gear for something else, or actually you have a third one in case they want to put more accessories. There is one missing though, and I didn't realise that when I got the model, so that's not a good thing, and I don't know what they are for yet anyway. Anyway, let's take it out of the box and let's see what it looks like. Hopefully it's better than what I imagine. And it comes out. Oh, it's very heavy. It comes out quite easy, which is a good thing. I'm just going to use the right. In all fairness, I'm not happy I've waited for that long to buy the model, because to be honest, it really doesn't look too bad when you get it out of the box. I still don't like them windows. You can see they're just decals or even painted on. Let's find out. Yeah, they feel like they're actually painted on to me, or stamped on somehow. Cockpit, well, at least it's plastic, and it's, I was just going to say it's not glazed. At least you can actually see through it to a certain extent, and usually I'd say that all of these cross sections are unnecessary, but for an Avro York they got that spot on. And the flight engineer and the navigator was actually down here. They was actually behind the pilots, as flight engineers usually are, but they weren't in the actual cockpit, so to speak. Because what you would get in a York, you'd get your passenger seats here, then you would get your wireless / navigator and your flight engineer, who would be on the other side. Then you get your steps up in to the actual flight deck. So it's the same as a Hanley Page Hastings or an Avro Shackleton. The flight engineer is essentially out of the cockpit and stationed behind. Here you would have your Astrodome. A shame that's actually painted over. But as I said, this is a very, very, very cheap aircraft for Corgi, so I'm not that surprised. At least the propellers go round here. Yeah, they go round. So details are really lacking in this model. Okay, I think you've already figured that out. So I'll just turn it over. But in a funny sort of way, I wish I wouldn't have waited that long to get one. And to be honest, I quite like what I see. Now, as you can see here, that is where your gear would go. Whether they open, I honestly don't know, because you have got the gear there. So I don't know how that would fit in. They must... I say they must open. It looks like they open, so I don't know how that gear would fit in. But that's another story for another time. And you've also got your emergency exit there, I see. Obviously, you would board at the back with your passenger and cargo door there, with your steps. Nice to see the actual codes there and the registration and number. So that's quite nice. Bugging me here, it doesn't look like these come open, but they must do, because you must fix the gear to somewhere. So I've just been trying to get them open. It doesn't look like they open, so I'll wrestle with them after the video, I think. That is just a cover. I'm going to show you what they look like off now. Okay, so as you can see, it's just a cover. And the main landing gear goes in the holes. So that's probably what them 3 black things are in the box. There should be 4. They're probably some sort of pins that will hold the gear in place. And of course you have your tail wheel that's already attached, which is a good thing. So you don't lose it or anything. So yeah, I quite like how you have to take the covers off of these. It doesn't really give them any more detail, but it gives them a quirkiness. Like you have to, I wouldn't say construct your own model, but you have to find the hidden places, so to speak. So I quite like that. This model, surprisingly, does get my approval, and I actually quite like it. So you never know, I might just be buying the Boeing Stratocruiser next, the Lockheed Constellation, or even the DC-3, but I've got a few too many DC-3s, so I think it might just have to be the Connie. Okay, so there's a flap over the bit where you actually put the stand into place. So we're going to see if we can do that properly now, because it's just slid sideways and unfortunately almost come off the stand. Well, it has actually gone on the stand. And thankfully, it's not come off yet. Obviously, the problem is that this bit isn't small. Have a look at that hole again. It looks like there should be a little bit on the end that slots in to that cutting. But to be honest, these two here, they look more the size of that. But at least it fits. So there we are. Corgi Aviation Archives, Avro York, Berlin Airlift, 1948. Now it looks like it's going to dive into Tempelhof. There you are. Not a bad looking model, and after all these years I'm very, very happy that I finally got one. So a very nice addition to the aviation collection, and as you can see, I have quite a few aircraft. Some are from the Airlift, most are from the war. I also have a massive Spitfire above my head, and I have one of the very rare wooden ones as well, given to me by a friend who really owns a 2-seat Spitfire in North Wales. But we're not focusing on that, we're focusing on this beauty. Anyway, more next Thursday. Have a good one, keep on collecting, and remember, it's not all about the diecast.